Imagine booking a flight and the payment system crashes at the last second. Or a banking app transferring money to the wrong account because of one tiny bug. Today, software runs almost everything around us: banking, hospitals, shopping, transportation, even mobile games. But what happens when software fails? That's exactly why software testing exists. In this video, you'll learn what software testing is, why companies invest millions into QA, different testing types, manual versus automation testing, real-world examples, and how people build careers in testing, even without a computer science degree. Software testing means checking whether an application works correctly and behaves as expected. Testers use applications like real users and try to find problems before customers do. These problems are called bugs or defects. Software testing is not just checking whether code runs. It's about understanding how real users interact with applications. Developers usually build features based on technical logic, but users behave very differently in the real world. For example, a developer may assume users will enter email, enter password, click login correctly. But real users often behave unpredictably. Some users may click login without entering anything, type invalid emails, enter spaces only, repeatedly tap buttons. That's why testers think from a user perspective instead of only a programmer perspective. This analytical mindset is one of the most valuable skills in software testing. Imagine an online shopping website. You search for shoes, add items to the cart, apply a coupon, and make a payment. Now imagine the discount doesn't apply, or the payment fails after money is deducted, or the cart suddenly becomes empty. These are software issues, and testing helps identify them before users experience them. Companies need software testing because software is used everywhere: banks, hospitals, airlines, food delivery apps, and social media platforms. If software fails, companies lose money, customers lose trust, and businesses get damaged. That's why companies hire QA engineers. QA stands for quality assurance. QA engineers test applications, identify bugs, report issues, and help improve software quality. Many people think bugs are small problems, but software bugs can become extremely expensive. Imagine a banking app charging customers $1,000 instead of $10 because of a bug. Customers panic. Support teams get flooded with complaints. The company loses trust instantly. Now imagine a payroll system failing to send salaries on payday. Thousands of employees may not receive their payments on time. Testing also protects customer trust. If an app crashes constantly, most users uninstall it immediately. Users expect applications to be fast, reliable, secure, and easy to use. Security is another major reason testing matters. Weak applications can expose passwords, payment details, and private information. Even giant companies experience software failures. Websites crash during sales, apps stop working after updates, and games become unstable because of bugs. Testing helps reduce these risks, and there are many types of software testing, but beginners only need to understand the basics first. There are different ways testers check software quality. One of the first types is called static testing. Static testing means checking software without actually running the application. This includes reviewing requirements, design documents, test cases, or even source code. The goal is to find issues early before development is completed. For example, a tester might notice missing requirements or logical mistakes during a document review. Finding defects early saves both time and money. The second type is dynamic testing. Dynamic testing happens when testers actually run the software and verify how it behaves. This includes clicking buttons, entering data, testing login pages, checking responses, and validating outputs. If the application crashes, shows wrong results, or behaves unexpectedly, testers report those defects. Most manual and automation testing falls under dynamic testing. Testing can also be categorized based on how much knowledge the tester has about the system. This brings us to black box testing and white box testing. In black box testing, testers focus only on inputs and outputs without seeing the internal code. For example, testing login functionality, verifying form validations, checking checkout processes, the tester only cares whether the feature works correctly. In white box testing, the internal code and logic are visible. Testers or developers examine code structure, conditions, loops, paths, and internal workflows. The goal is to ensure the software logic works properly behind the scenes. White box testing is commonly used in unit testing and code-level validations. Together, these testing approaches help teams deliver reliable, secure, and high-quality software. Functional testing checks whether features work correctly. For example, does the login button work? Can users add products to the cart? UI testing focuses on the appearance of the application. Buttons, text, images, and layouts should display properly on desktop and mobile devices. Regression testing checks whether old features still work after new updates are added. Smoke testing is a quick check to verify critical features before detailed testing begins. Performance testing checks speed and stability under heavy traffic. For example, can a shopping website handle thousands of users during a sale? Security testing checks whether applications are protected from hackers and unauthorized access. Software testing mainly happens in two ways: manual testing and automation testing. Manual testing means humans test the application manually. A tester clicks buttons, enters data, verifies forms, and checks application behavior step by step. Manual testing is useful for exploratory testing, usability testing, and finding unexpected issues. Humans can notice confusing layouts, poor user experiences, and visual problems that automation tools may miss. Automation testing uses scripts and tools to test applications automatically. Instead of repeating the same tests every day manually, testers create automation scripts that perform actions automatically. Automation is especially useful for repeated testing and large applications. Popular automation tools include Selenium, Cypress, and Playwright. Most companies use both manual and automation testing together. Many beginners enter software testing because they believe testing requires less coding than software development. And yes, manual testing can initially require very little programming knowledge. But as testers grow in their careers, programming becomes increasingly important. Automation testing requires writing scripts, understanding application behavior, and interacting with APIs or databases. Automation testers often work closely with developers, business teams, and DevOps engineers. They may need to understand application architecture, APIs, databases, cloud environments, testing frameworks. Automation is really about improving efficiency and reducing repetitive manual work. Strong automation testers also focus on problem-solving and analytical thinking, not just coding. You do not need to become an expert software engineer immediately, but basic programming knowledge can significantly improve long-term career growth in QA. Now let's look at a real testing example. First, testers check the login page. They test valid credentials, wrong passwords, empty fields, invalid email formats, and password visibility options. Imagine discovering that users can log in even with the wrong password. That becomes a critical security issue. Next comes sign-up testing. Testers verify mandatory fields, password rules, duplicate email registrations, and mobile responsiveness. Then they test the shopping cart and checkout process. They verify adding products, removing items, applying coupon codes, and completing payments successfully. Imagine a coupon bug giving customers a 90% discount instead of 10%. That single issue could create massive financial losses for the company. This is the kind of real-world work QA engineers do every day. You may hear two common terms in software testing: SDLC and STLC. SDLC means Software Development Lifecycle. It describes how software is created from beginning to release. For example, a company planning a food delivery app first decides features like login, payments, restaurant listings, and order tracking. Developers build the app, testers verify functionality, and finally the app gets released to users. SDLC means Software Testing Lifecycle. This focuses specifically on testing activities such as understanding requirements, creating test scenarios, executing tests, reporting bugs, and verifying fixes. Many beginners believe software testing only means writing test cases or executing scripts. But modern QA careers involve much more than that. Experienced testers often work with automation frameworks, APIs, databases, cloud systems, CI/CD pipelines, AI-assisted testing tools. Strong analytical thinking and problem-solving skills become extremely important as careers grow. Testing today is a combination of technical knowledge, communication, business understanding, user experience thinking. One of the best ways to start learning software testing is by exploring as much information as possible. Read testing blogs, watch YouTube tutorials, follow experienced testers online, and learn from conference talks. Software testing is a field where continuous learning is extremely important because tools and technologies constantly evolve. Beginners can also practice by testing demo websites or open-source applications. The more applications you explore, the more you begin to understand user behavior, common bugs, application risks, testing techniques. Learning from multiple sources also helps you develop different perspectives on testing. Many beginners wonder whether certifications are required to get into software testing. Certifications can definitely help in some situations, especially when applying for entry-level roles. But certifications alone do not automatically make someone a strong tester. Many companies value practical skills and real-world problem-solving much more. For example, beginners can stand out by creating a GitHub profile, documenting testing practice, testing demo applications, reporting bugs, writing simple test cases, sharing learning projects online. Showing curiosity, consistency, and practical learning often creates a stronger impression than simply collecting certificates. Software testing offers many different career paths, but growth usually depends on continuous learning. If someone wants to move into areas like automation testing, performance testing, API testing, security testing, they need to actively learn and practice those skills. Opportunities often come to people who prepare before the opportunity appears. That means spending time learning tools, experimenting with projects, and building technical knowledge consistently over time. The testing industry keeps evolving, so successful testers usually maintain a strong learning mindset throughout their careers. Not every software testing job provides the same learning opportunities. Some environments focus only on repetitive documentation and executing fixed test cases every day. But stronger testing environments encourage exploratory testing, technical learning, automation, collaboration, analytical thinking. As testers gain experience, it becomes important to work in environments that support growth and continuous improvement. Good companies usually value testers who ask questions, investigate problems, improve processes, contribute ideas. Testing is far more than simply following predefined steps. It's about understanding systems, identifying risks, and improving software quality. Software testing has become a popular entry point into the tech industry. Many people from different educational backgrounds enter QA careers. Some have IT degrees, while others learn through self-study and practice. Most beginners start with manual testing and later move into automation testing. Software testing teaches valuable skills like problem solving, attention to detail, communication, and understanding user behavior. Modern QA careers also include automation, API testing, performance testing, and AI testing. The industry continues growing because companies always need reliable software.